Hey everyone, Dan here, welcome to North Queensland Barbecue and Brewing. Today I've done brined pork ribs, and I don't know how they're going to go yet because I haven't tried them, but I've been cooking them for ages. I brined them overnight, gave them a 16-hour brine, and then seasoned them, put them in the smoker, and here we are, about to try them. So yeah, to see how I've done these, stay tuned and we'll go through the process. Okay, so I'm going to brine these pork ribs here, and basically I've just got this wrap of, these are St. Louis cut pork ribs here. I got these from Lambert's here in Townsville, and this brine here, I've just got this stainless steel container here. Just going to throw them in there. This is basically a cup of brine to about 3.5 litres of water in here, just to keep them covered overnight. So the good thing about that brine there is it's already got a lot of stuff in it. I've used it a lot. That's the end of the packet, unfortunately, but it saves you having to make your own up. But then mind you, making your own, it's going to be just as simple, just as easy, you know, just salt, sugar, pepper, garlic powder, whatever you want. I'm going to wrap that there in Glad Wrap now, throw it in the fridge overnight, give it to it's 6:30 at night now, and these will be coming off at about midday tomorrow to throw into the smoker. So yeah, that'll get about 18 hours of brining, and we'll come back and throw them in the smoker. Rightio then, so these ribs have been brining now for 16 hours, 18 hours now. Still nice and cold, just taking them straight out of the fridge, so they actually haven't changed colour all that much. Nice smell to them anyway. So I didn't give them much of a trim up last night. In fact, I just took them straight out of the packet because I was in a rush, but any little bits that need taking off, just take them off. Square it up if you want, like, you know, I don't need that bit of fat there. So there's not really much work in them. I'll leave that the way it is. I'm actually pretty happy. Oh, should I just trim this thin stuff off at the end here? So I get a nice, even sort of rib rack there. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll give these a quick dry off. And what I'm going to do then, I've made up a rub, and the rub, I've made a fairly simple rub. It's just 1 tablespoon of coarse ground black pepper. I've used a tablespoon of honey, granulated honey, and half a tablespoon of garlic powder. So it's a really simple rub. The granulated honey I'm using is this stuff here. So once again, it's Lane's barbecue stuff, granulated honey. It's really handy when you're making rubs. If you need sugar, you can substitute it with this granulated honey. Just for your curiosity as well, the rub that the brine I used was that one there. So you can make up your own. The good thing is it's got, you know, plenty of stuff in it. It's got thyme in it, vinegar, powder, granulated stuff. So yeah, it's already made up. Don't have to worry. So yeah, I'll get this a nice coating of this rub here. Just lightly cover that. The reason I'm not adding salt, obviously, is because it's already been brined up. So there's no need for that. The granulated honey will give it some sweetness to counteract that sugar, that salt, hopefully. Don't forget the edges, obviously, and the backside, I'll do that too. There's obviously a big nice strip of meat through here, so I want to get that nice and coated and seasoned. I haven't scored or taken the back off. I've left that there, and that's it. So pretty happy with that. Now that's going to go in the offset here. Now I'm going to put that in the offset until it cooks, basically. So I'm thinking maybe 5 to 6 hours, but I'm going to put it down this far end. This is my big offset smoker that I spent all last year building, so she's good to go now and cooks really well. I've got other things going in here, but yeah, we'll get this in. Got it up to temperature, it's sitting at about 100 degrees Celsius now, so I'll lay that in probably about halfway here. And we'll come back when that's ready to go. Okay, these have had about 3 hours now, and they're starting to get a bit of pullback, so I might actually take them out. They're probing nicely because they're a thicker cut of meat, so I don't want to dry it out too much. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take these out now and just wrap them in alfoil. Yeah, so I'll get these out. I'll get them onto my alfoil here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put some butter on here. Not that it needs much more moisture with being brined, but just fat content and butter. just adds awesome flavour. I mean, I don't know, I've just been adding butter to most barbecue just for that flavour profile that it gives. It's just, I don't think you can beat it, personally. I mean, you don't have to. If you don't want to put butter in, don't do that. But for me, it's just a thing. So from here, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to add some maple syrup as well, because that's been brined and it's going to be salty. I want to cut through that salt a little bit, so I'm just going to add a little bit more sweetness to this. Give that a good drenching of maple syrup. And once again, that's just by eye. We'll see how it goes. And then we'll wrap that up, and I'll get it back into the smoker. So from here, maybe another hour and a half. Shush, dogs. So yeah, maybe another hour and a half. We'll see how it goes. And we'll get that back in there, and hopefully that should become fairly tender now that it's wrapped in alfoil. I'll come back when this is ready to go in about an hour and a half, and we'll try these and see how they come. I want to see if it's worth it, to be honest with you, whether it's worth actually brining or not, because if it's not, I won't do it again, but we'll see. If the flavour's exceptional, we'll try it again. Alright, so these are probing pretty tenderly. And they're really hot, so get them out. Probably let these rest for about 10 minutes. That's been, so I smoked them for about 3.5 hours, and I've had them in the alfoil for about an hour and a half, so I don't really want to unwrap them just yet. I'll take a couple of the layers off, because like I said, I want them to cool down a little bit, but you know, I'll give it that. That smell is fantastic. I'll give you a closer look at this. So that's how we're looking there now. I might actually just throw them back in the smoker just to tack them up a little bit. They're pretty tender, and the bone, the good pullback on there, it might be wise if I just put in there just to tack that up a little bit. So I might actually just throw that in there for 5-10 more minutes and just let that set again, let that bark reset, and then we'll come back and we'll eat them. Right, so I'm pretty happy with these things. They've tacked up nicely actually, and let's get them off. Oh. I don't know where my good spatula is at the moment, but you can see we've got a nice bit of pullback there. So I'm not going to drop these on the dirt. I'm just going to rest them here for about 5-10 minutes. Just let them cool down a little bit. Let them soak that juice back in. We'll come back in about 10 minutes time. We're going to try these things, so I'm really looking forward to it. Alright, let's cut these babies open and see what they're like, to be honest. I've been waiting all day. I want to see what they're like. I watch all these brine videos and they're really meaty. These St. Louis or St. Louis style ribs just have a lot of meat on them, so yeah, that's pretty tender. Give you a look there. Nice smoke ring to them. If you can pick that up on the camera, they've got quite a nice smoke ring. Or that might be where the brine's penetrated too, I don't know. But yeah, I'm going to get the wife here, we're going to try these things and see how they taste, because they look really good and they smell nice. So let's try these things, eh? Alright, so I'm going to try one of these first, and then I'll get Louise in, but it's actually not that bad. Now, I don't know if the brining process is 100% worth it, but it's still really tender and really nice. What do you reckon? That, yeah, okay.
They're very juicy.
Yeah, they're juicy. Mm. This is more just is it worth brining it?
I don't know.
So, the reason I've done this, you see a lot of people, I've seen a few barbecue channels brining their ribs, and I'm like, is it worth doing or is it not? And yeah, I mean, the flavour's there, the pepper's standing out, there's a sweetness from the maple syrup. Mm. You know, you're brining it overnight, so it's an extra step in the process. I mean, yeah, why not? for you know, the juiciness, the salinity, like, it's not overly powering, like the saltiness isn't overly powering, so it's not like that's the problem.
No, not at all salty, not too salty.
No, I just don't know if, you know, spending that extra process in actually brining it is worth it. yeah, I mean, it's a different, it's not that much of a different flavour profile than what you'd have in normal ribs. So, you know what? I'd do it again, yes. And yeah, the meat's definitely like coming off the bone, but yeah, I mean, for what it's worth, I'd say if you don't have the time, I'd just cook them normally. But yeah, for the flavour, yeah, definitely give it a go and try it. But it's not one of those things I'll be rushing out to do again myself. I wouldn't worry about it for competition or anything like that, but definitely nice. Good ribs. Alright guys, I'm going to enjoy these. Until next time, you take care, eh? See ya.